Welcome to Lesson 1 on Potential Problems with Collecting Data. When collecting data, it's important that questions are posed without any problems or issues. Some of these potential problems with both the questioning and the collection of the data include bias. This is when the question influences responses in either favor of or against the topic of the data collection. So for example, asking a question in the form, "Don't you think the price of a movie ticket is too high?" That's from someone who clearly thinks that the price is too high. So because of the way the question is worded, more participants will likely say yes than if it was worded in another way. So you can simply ask something like, "What are your thoughts on movie ticket prices?" Or, "What do you think of the price of a movie ticket? Too high, too low, fair?" Both of these questions do not have an individual's opinion in the question. Now for use of language, this is similar to bias in that you're wording questions in a way that lead people to a certain answer. For example, giving people limited choices like, "What is your favorite color, red or blue?" Well, if these are the only two colors to pick from, then people may be forced to pick a color that is not necessarily their favorite. So to avoid this, always give people lots of choices and always have an other option. Now timing is when the data is collected. When data is collected could lead to inaccurate results. So for example, a survey on the effectiveness of winter tires that's conducted in August, when people aren't necessarily using winter tires, may lead to different results than if it was conducted in February, when they are. So timing is another important consideration to keep in mind when conducting surveys. Another important consideration is privacy. If data collection is personal, then a person may not want to participate or may give an untrue answer. So for example, people may not want to participate in a survey on weight if it means stepping on a scale in front of other people. So always make sure that your survey is anonymous and it is conducted privately. Now, cultural sensitivity means that you are aware of other cultures and you do not ask questions that may offend another culture. So simply asking someone, for example, how they like to cook their ham may offend people who do not eat ham. People may not eat ham because of religious reasons or they just don't eat meat, so don't assume that they do. This wording may be offensive to them. You could avoid this by simply starting with, "If you eat ham, how do you like it cooked?" So this way, if they don't eat ham, they can just simply skip that question. Now, ethics means that the collected data should not be used for any other purposes. So, for example, you tell your classmates that you want to know their favorite snacks for your birthday party, but then you go out and buy these snacks and try to sell them to your classmates at lunch. So you took that info and then used it for your own personal gain. That is unethical. Now, cost is another important consideration. The cost of collecting data must be taken into account. For example, you may need to pay for the printing of questionnaires at your local printing shop, or you may need to pay people to collect and then analyze the data. So you can certainly avoid this problem by doing a cost analysis first to see if the survey is worth doing. Then we have time. The time needed to collect the data certainly must be considered. If you have a survey that takes an hour to complete, then you may not get many participants. So making sure participants have enough time to complete the survey. So for example, if a manager wants their employees to conduct a long survey, then they should set aside some time in the workday that they can complete the survey. Or you can just simply try to shorten the survey to make it more reasonable.